All right, so this is the blending technique that I'm going to talk to you about with just your pencil. So again, this can work with your regular pencils or any of the 4 that I gave you. Right now I'm going to be working on this section of my E. So it's got that really dark shadow, so I know that I've got to do a lot of blending with it so that it's not going to show my scribbles or my pencil marks. So I'll pick either a 5B or an ebony. I think I'm going to go with 5B because an ebony is pretty extreme. All right, so 1, you've really got to make sure that you're working slowly. I think I showed in my last video that I tend to work in small circles like this, and it's really about building up value. I can always make it a little bit darker if I need to, but it's so much more of a pain to have to erase a little bit and take value away. So it's just easier to start off small. So notice that I'm going back and forth in these small, light-handed circular motions like this, and that's allowing me to build that value up. And as you can see, just by doing this, I'm not getting any of those pencil scribbles. So if I were coloring back and forth, like you've basically been taught how to do for the last several years of your life since kindergarten, when you're coloring like this, you get all of those lines and those scribbles that you don't want. So what we need to do is really kind of slow the process down. And I know this looks like it will take forever, but if you're using the right pencil, it won't. So in this dark area, I want to make sure that I'm working with one of the heavier pencils, so a 5B or the ebony, because I'll have to do fewer laps over my shadow. If you start out with an HB, the one that's super, super light, it's going to take you forever, and you'll have to go back and forth like this to build up the shadow appropriately. Now, if you're deciding that it looks a little bit grainy and you want to blend it in a little bit more, you can even take your finger like that and blend it. But you've got to be careful, because if you go like this, it's going to blend in areas that you don't want it to. So, this is if you've got a little bit more control. And your blending stump right here, I can tell that yours got a little bit dirty when you were using it. So you can take it on a clean piece of paper like that, and kind of clear it off if you need to, and then go back to blending. See how it's also the same thing? It's just small circular motions like that, trying to stay in control of the tool. So hopefully that answers the question. And there's one quick thing that I want to do just before this video gets turned off. So in your drawing, I talked a lot about exaggerating the values. So in your photo here, yes, we do have a lot of light grays and they all look very similar. So because of that, we want to make the dark areas like right here even darker, and keep the light areas like right here really, really super light and white. So up here in particular, around this little curve, if you made this area even darker, it would have a lot of contrast. Same thing with right in here, inside the F, where I can see right here looking at the photo, it's the slightest hint darker than right here. But if you exaggerate it and make it even darker than you see it right here, we're going to be able to tell the difference between this layer, and it's going to end up looking much more 3-dimensional. So good luck with it. Can't wait to see your fixes.